is CTV News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Ontario's police watchdog is stepping into another Windsor investigation tonight after a car said to have fled from officers crashed into another driver, sending 2 people to hospital. Windsor police say it all went down just after 8 a.m. when an officer attempted to stop a vehicle on Walker Road near Seymour Boulevard. Investigators say the driver took off before colliding with another vehicle down the street near Foster Avenue. Both vehicles suffered significant damage in the crash, and 2 people were taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. And if you or someone you know had plans to fly out of Detroit Metro today, another crash you should know about, one that ended with a car inside the airport terminal. This was the scene around 9:30 this morning. Police say a 67-year-old man drove the wrong way, went around concrete barriers, and crashed through a set of doors at the Evans terminal. Authorities say the man appeared disoriented and later told investigators he was there to meet Tom Cruise. No weapons or explosives were found, and police say there's no evidence he intended to hurt anyone. One woman did, however, suffer minor injuries while dodging the vehicle, but she still made her flight. Airport operations returned to normal within about 90 minutes. Here is what some eyewitnesses had to say.
This black Cadillac truck just barreled through the door. It was unbelievable. Like, we were just sitting up there looking at it, like you couldn't even process it. It was crazy.
It was around 10 minutes later. They had taken the guy. After that, we kind of sat there for like 5 minutes, and then they told everybody to get out the offices and told every passenger to get out the building.
Back here in Windsor tonight, more than a dozen people sleeping in newly created affordable housing spaces. But as CTV's Robert Lothian reports, that's a drop in the bucket with a wait list thousands of names long.
From bare walls and beams in a former hospital office building to the halls of Windsor's newest affordable apartment building. Officials cutting the ribbon on the 19-unit Grace on Olette apartments Friday afternoon.
This is another step in helping to deal with the housing and homelessness issue that we see happening in our community.
The more than $4.5 million build was largely covered by provincial and federal grants, with Hotel du Grace Healthcare selling the building to the Windsor-Essex Community Housing Corporation at a discounted rate. The mix of studio and one-bedroom apartments feature bathrooms and a kitchen.
We're talking about 19 individuals and families who previously were finding it challenging to access affordable housing, now can access affordable housing.
15 of the units are already in use. The rest are being reserved for those receiving care at Windsor's Heart Hub. It allows them to transition into the community while still getting the support they need.
It just really completes the wraparound supports of what the Heart Hub is meant to accomplish, and helps people get settled and starting out in being more independent.
The need for affordable housing in Windsor-Essex continues to outpace the supply. According to the Housing Corporation, more than 7,000 people sit on the wait list.
Let's not always get bogged down by the big challenges we have. Let's focus on the small things that we can do every single day that lead to big change, and this is one of those steps in that direction.
Costante says the Housing Corporation is always looking at new opportunities for affordable housing, adding this building will be full in the coming weeks. Robert Lothian, CTV News, Windsor.
A late-night house fire is sparking a safety reminder from Windsor Fire and renewed questions about rooming houses in the city. CTV's Bob Belichico reports.
This was the scene late Thursday night on Tuscarora near Parent Avenue.
I looked across the street and I seen the big flames. I felt the heat as I was walking out my front door. I just went, holy shit.
Chief Prevention Officer John Smith says a smoke alarm in a second-floor room alerted those in the house of a fire.
The unfortunate thing, when they got to the bedroom, and this is the occupant, they decided to pull a mattress that was on fire out the stairs out to the front porch.
According to Smith, dragging through the house helped spread the flames and created a worse outcome. He says the best thing to do in that situation is just close the bedroom door.
Evacuate the house, call 911, and let fire take care of it. And that would have probably contained maybe less damage and contained that fire to that bedroom.
2 people were sent to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Now, according to Smith, the single-family home operates with individually rented rooms, and 5 of the rooms were recently fitted with smoke alarms following a complaint-driven inspection.
You're going to rent out rooms to individuals, at least have a working smoke alarm in that room, on top of the smoke alarm CO requirements in the rest of your house.
Had the complaint not been filed, there's no saying what could have happened, which is why City Councillor Mark McKenzie would like to see more discussion around homes being converted into boarding homes.
There isn't a housing crisis, there's an affordability crisis. And so now people are resorting to renting rooms instead of actually being able to rent their own apartment, and you're seeing these illegal boarding houses popping up, and I don't know if that's what this was, but I know that we do have them.
Last year, the city paused rental licensing in Wards 1 and 2 in order to launch a review of citywide options. The pilot required landlords to register their properties and undergo inspections to improve housing conditions and fire safety. Asked whether the RRL should be revisited, McKenzie said,
"We just need more people to just comply with the rules, right? Because at the end of the day, we just want to make sure that people are safe."
Bob Belichico, CTV News.
Closing arguments wrapped up today in the trial of James Harris, who's charged in connection with a 2021 explosion inside a former paint shop at Windsor Assembly. Both sides agree there's no physical evidence linking Harris to the blast, and no one knows exactly what caused it. The Crown argues comments Harris made about something happening in the area and that no one would be hurt point to guilt. The defense says he was simply repeating factory rumors. A verdict is expected in July. And in another Windsor courtroom, a drug trafficking trial is putting the spotlight on a man who isn't even alive to testify. The trial of Sean Yvonne continued today, with the defense focusing heavily on Yvonne's late uncle, Danny Moore. Police found cocaine, cash, and other items linked to the drug trade at a LaSalle home Yvonne was renting in 2020. Yvonne admits a small amount of cocaine was his, but denies knowing about the larger stash. Jurors have heard Moore had unrestricted access to the property, and police also found drugs, cash, and trade tools at his apartment. Closing arguments are expected next week. New data shows Canada has slipped into what's called a technical recession. The latest numbers from Stats Canada show that economic growth stalled in the first quarter of this year, January through March. It was the same story last October through December. 2 consecutive quarters of GDP decline is the definition of a technical recession. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre blasted the Carney government today, saying Canada's economy is smaller now compared to when Carney became Prime Minister.
There's nothing technical about having an empty stomach because you can't afford paying the worst food inflation in the G7. There's nothing technical about coming home from work and telling your kids that you no longer have a job and that they're going to have to sell the house because Canada has the second highest unemployment in the G7. That is not technical, it is real. This is a full-blown liberal recession.
So what does a technical recession look like outside the economic textbooks? CTV's Sean Irvin spoke with people feeling the pinch of higher costs.
Friday morning dawns with some relief at the gas pumps.
Definitely down quite a bit from where it's been.
But the drop in price coincides with concerning news. Canada is now in a technical recession. While financial experts debate exactly what that means for the economy, the public is simply alarmed by the word.
I did not hear that yet. I'm surprised. I thought we were doing better than the U.S. anyways. I would expect them to be in a recession.
But as most of us know, it is not just the price of gas that is stressing out consumers. It's the cost of other essentials, including mortgage, rent, car repair bills, and yes, groceries. Out shopping with her young son Fergus and her mother Kathy, Rachel Vass agreed the economy is teetering on the edge.
A little uncertain for sure, but I mean, we can only do what we can do, and everything is increasing as the world changes.
Her retired mother feels fortunate that she can help if finances become a challenge for the next generation. Some of her friends are already doing what they can to help their adult children cover the cost of housing.
The young people can't afford them these days. I mean, are they making enough money to actually afford a mortgage? And the cost of housing, I can't believe it. We were just so lucky when we bought when we did.
Mike Beard is grateful that disability insurance is keeping him housed, even though the extra remains a struggle. Still, he worries about the stresses of others.
I feel sorry for people. for attitude, money, the prices, spending a lot more what they used to.
Back at the gas pumps, Sean Smith is fueling up before resuming his search for a new job. He is taking the word recession in stride.
Well, not that worried about it just yet. I've seen many recessions.
In London, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
With Carousel of Nations coming up, many of Windsor's cultural communities are focused on more than just food, drinks, and dancing. They're finding the next generation of leaders. CTV's Stephanie Mazzotti reports.
For the past 2 decades, Windsor's Italian community has celebrated Sante Ippolito, an early Christian martyr. Massimo Ciampa joined the festival committee in 2019 at just 20 years old.
I'm still young, but I still want to see people who are younger than me, like the 17, 18-year-old, 19-year-olds, all of them get involved like I wanted to. It's not just our culture that's having this problem, it's many different cultures.
He's right.
I'm going to be 83.
Irene Timko shares those concerns. She's been chairing the Slavic village since Carousel of the Nations began 51 years ago.
In every community, you find that the older generation is no longer able to do what they did, and you need the younger ones to take over and to assume more responsibility.
In other East Indian cultures, a growth, but not fast enough.
There is not a full disconnect, but yes, there is definitely a gap that we do need to address, and I think it comes from both sides of the older generation.
Others say they are thriving, like the Polish community where 19-year-old Maria is prepared to step up.
Well, I'm certainly trying to be as involved as possible. I'm already a part of, I would say, more than 5 organizations, Polish ones, here in Windsor. And I certainly see myself putting the effort to uphold our heritage here in Windsor.
As for Ciampa and the Sante Ippolito Italian Festival, held on July 26th at the Cicciaro Club, he promises a family fun event filled with food, kids' games, live entertainment, and of course, a pasta eating competition.
Being Italian or being part of your culture is not just coming around, for the FIFA World Cup, Euro Cup, bringing out our jerseys. It's an everyday thing. It's culture, it's tradition, it's our faith.
Stephanie Mazzotti, CTV News.
CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald has your full weather details coming up in 2 minutes' time. And still ahead, you can find them all over the ground, but did you know you can eat them? Gary and Sandy McDonald get gardening. CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald is here with our first look at the weather tonight. And Gary, let me just put on my sunglasses because I know you're going to tell us to, because there's nothing but sunshine in the forecast.
I'm liking where you're headed with that, young man. Taking advice from this elderly gentleman who's always trying to serve the public interest by, of course, talking about the precautions that one should take, even when the weather's this great. Comfortable, warm, right? Low humidity, but the UV index is high, so we want to use our sunblock and sunscreen throughout the day, exposed areas, and we're still clear through the night for the most part. And sunglasses, of course, protect our eyes from UVA and UVB energy. That kind of light could do damage to your eyes over time. So clear tonight, clear just like it was the night before and the night before that. And generally speaking, we're still looking at clear for the next little while, in fact. It's going to mirror itself, this pattern, because of this omega block. We've been talking about that. Essentially, we have an area of high pressure that's right over us and not moving anywhere anytime soon. The overnight temperature down to 9 degrees Celsius, our average low at this time of the year pre-dawn, closer to 12. Still comfortable, a bit breezy, in fact, although the winds do abate towards the afternoon. Here's the breakdown for the weekend. Conventionally speaking, of course, Sunday technically is the first day of the week, but you get the idea. Windy through the morning, high UV throughout the midday and afternoon. High of 21, it should be beautiful. Humidity is expected to be low both days, so 21 feels like 21. The max temps are really going to feel just like that. So, comfort's the story, with the sunshine, of course, protecting our eyes and protecting ourselves from sunburn and exposure. Look at this forecast. This is just fantastic, right? We are warming up. 21, then 25s apiece, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Probability of precipitation is low, to say the very least. Take a look at that. And then warming up to about 29, maybe even 30 next Thursday, Friday, a week from now. Mid to upper 20s and mostly sunny. Will we see rain ever again in our lives? Ladies and gentlemen, I kid, of course. Of course we will. But the streak continues. Enjoy it. Let's look at your weather. Travis?
Thank you, Gary. A diplomatic visit to Ottawa is turning heads this week as China's foreign minister meets with top Canadian officials. CTV's Abigail Beeman has more.
China's foreign minister welcomed by the Prime Minister, as well as his Canadian counterpart, Anita Anand. Wang Yi spoke of record-high engagement with Anand and a relationship between the two nations that has turned around, now growing and improving, with major economic and trade concerns, as he says, properly addressed.
We are committed to growing this relationship responsibly with a goal of increasing exports to China by 50% by 2030, while safeguarding Canada's economic and national security interests and values.
There would need to be some clarity about what are those guardrails, what kind of investment from China is welcome, in what sectors, and where we would actually continue to hold the red line.
The opposition leader asked if he believed Mark Carney would raise issues of human rights abuses.
Of course not. He won't do anything to make Beijing unhappy.
A former Canadian diplomat in Beijing who has met Wang Yi more than once over the decades believes human rights will be discussed and that China is likely to raise Taiwan.
We do have to reflect our values in these discussions. And from my experience, particularly behind closed doors, it's possible, necessary in my view, to speak frankly to Chinese leaders about our own concerns. And I guarantee you they will speak frankly about theirs.
The Prime Minister heads back to China for the second time later this year for the APEC summit, while this visit by the foreign minister could set the stage for a visit to Canada by China's President Xi. China watchers say to look towards the end of this year when the president already has plans to visit the United States. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
In Toronto, the TSX gained 251 points today, and in New York, the Dow added 363, and the Nasdaq is up 55. The Canadian dollar gained 0.05 of a cent, gold gained more than $60 an ounce, and oil fell $1.54 a barrel. CTV News Windsor has launched a newsletter helping you start your day with the latest local news. By signing up, you'll get direct local content straight from CTV Windsor to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewswindsor.ca. You've probably picked them up, swept them off your driveway, or watched them spin through the air, but did you know those little maple helicopters are actually edible? Here's this week's Get Gardening.
Talk to us about the silver maple, its seed, how unique it is, and what it offers all of us.
It's true, and silver maple, it's very widely planted in Windsor, Essex. And basically the reason for that, very, very fast growing. People put it in because they wanted quick shade. So it is considered a pioneering type of tree, so it's not our longest living maple. However, there are many attributes to these quick growing trees. And again, very quick for shade, quick to cover the ground, grows on almost any type of soil, more on the wet side, more on the dry side, they tolerate that. But people complain about the dropping of all of these keys.
This is edible. And what are some of the characteristics we're looking for with the seed?
Right. So when these little keys or helicopters or samaras, if we want to use a proper term, or schizocarps, we got another term for them, when they drop, there is inside a small oval seed. And probably the easiest way is you can collect these up, give them a really quick drop into boiling water just for a minute or so, and that softens everything up. And then you can sort of pop these little green seeds out. And you might want to then boil them again for another minute or two, but they're almost like, the taste is almost something between like an edamame, a green soybean, and a pea, like a green pea. So they are edible, they are nutritious, there's plenty of minerals in there, a little bit of protein in there, and the squirrels have eaten all of this, and most of what we see around us, so they're enjoying a big crop of silver maple keys this year.
Another example of nature's wonder all around us. Sandy McDonald, thank you so much, and we'll see you next time for another interesting segment here on Get Gardening.
If you do try those, let us know how they are. While some of us are worrying about our gardens and lawns at home, there's an entire team worrying about every single blade of grass at Toronto Stadium ahead of the World Cup. CTV's Karis Mapp has a look at the company behind the grass.
The grass has been laid at BMO Field, now being called Toronto Stadium, ahead of the World Cup.
The field actually got installed early in the winter almost. They had a couple games on it just to set it in, and now it's been resting for about 4 weeks. They're not letting anybody walk on it. They are meticulously making sure every grass blade is absolutely perfect.
Green Horizon Sod Farms has been BMO Field's provider for over 15 years now, but this project meant the grass had to be pitch perfect.
We are so excited to be part of this world-renowned event. The World Cup has never came across the ocean like this, so it is a very, very big deal.
The grass currently at their specialty turf farm in Burford is replacement grass in case of emergency throughout the tournament.
Anything could happen, and we definitely need a backup field to be able to fix anything that needs to get done.
We mow this probably almost every day. We fertilize a good amount and lots of irrigation. It's growing on USGA sand, so it has the proper drainage, the best possible conditions it could have.
Different from artificial turf often seen at soccer fields, this high-performance grass is all natural.
It gives, but yet it has traction. You know, artificial turf has traction, but it doesn't give. That's why the soccer players around the world demand to play on natural grass, because for their own body, for their own playability, for the performance of the sport, the ball play, the safety of the players, has to be on natural grass. There is no other choice.
While Green Horizon sod will be showcased on the main pitch at Toronto Stadium, the team here has been hard at work to provide all the natural turf athletes will be playing and practicing on during their time in the city.
The City of Toronto was required to build a practice field at Centennial Park right near the airport south of the 401. We did that one last year. FIFA is going to be staying at the Nottawasaga Inn in Alliston. The team is going to be staying at the Nottawasaga Inn and playing on a field that we just put in maybe about 3 weeks ago.
Sheedle and his team will be on site in the parking lot during the tournament, but that's about as close as they'll get to the action.
We got a link to the lottery like everyone else did, unfortunately.
Keeping things fair for FIFA 2026. Karis Mapp, CTV News, Burford.
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app.
CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald is back, and so are my sunglasses, because, Gary, we have a beautiful weekend and following week coming up.
You look good. You look good, young man. Very good. Sunglasses, highly recommended. Sunscreen, sunblock, right? Because, as always, we're exposed to the sun. We need our vitamin D, yes, but overexposure, too much of it, can be possibly a health issue. So we want to get into good habits. So use your sunblock, protect your eyes with your sunglasses, just like our good man, Travis Fortnum, and enjoy these temperatures. Coolish and then warming up. Sunshine is the story for the next 7 days. Now I'm going to creep back into the shot here. Everybody see that, right? Okay, there I am. Hello, hi. It's all about the sunny weather, right? No complaints. I don't want to hear it. How can you really be upset with that forecast? Hope you enjoy. Have yourselves a good night. Travis?
Thank you, Gary. Great weather to get out on the water, and our final story tonight poses a fun new way to do that if you've got some extra money lying around to buy a pirate ship. Here's CTV's Peter Sperling with the story.
Welcome aboard the Grey Ghost, matey, the finest ship to ever sail any of the 7 seas, or at least Mooney's Bay.
Owen McGowan loves his job, also known as...
My pirate name is Big Muscle Russell. It's not because of me muscles, it's actually because of me pet mussel Camilla, who be particularly large.
He's part of the crew hitting the high seas of Mooney's Bay on a pirate ship, entertaining visitors.
It's indescribably cool. It's adventure. It's truly, in its purest form, just fun.
In search of tourists' gold, it's an anchor attraction here. Fun for families and children by day, escape games for adults in evenings, and now a chance to own it.
Pirate Life, a tourism business here in Ottawa and in Toronto and Hamilton, is for sale. This ship can be yours.
We're a local attraction with almost 20 years of history in Ottawa, 10 years of history in Toronto. So much so that we've had young people who came on the boat when they were 4, 5, or 6 years old now apply and work with us during the summertime.
Owner Matt Slayman says he's planning on moving to Europe with his wife and is looking for a buyer.
And it's such a beautiful business. I mean, this, I think, is great for someone who wants to work outdoors during the summertime. They want to be down here on the docks, living their best life from May to October.
For sale, the business. 4 40-foot pirate ships in multiple locations, along with waterfront leases, licenses, and permits.
I think it's a great tourism experience. Sounds like a fun time. And I'm sure they'll have a lot of interest.
Oh, if I was ever in the market for one, I'd surely get it there. Maybe not this time. I got my small one for now.
Slayman says programs are running all summer.
And in the event we don't find a buyer, I'll still be captain of these ships and we'll still be cruising.
With Big Muscle Russell looking forward to another season.
What we have here is really special.
Peter Sperling, CTV News.
Hey, a business idea. Buy one of those, bring it down to the Detroit River. You'll be busy through the summer and even longer than the season up there in Ottawa. Just something to think about, I guess. That's our time for tonight. We hope to see you back here on Monday. For now, I'm Travis Fortnum. Have a great weekend.